Hello my country people, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Guys, e get matter wey dey ground o. A senator representing Kebbi Central, Senator Adamu Aliro, speaking about the plan to restrict herders' movement from one state to another, has alleged that the people who are engaged in the sales of spare parts across Nigeria have never been restricted. He, however, argued that any attempt to restrict herders' movement with their cattle will violate their freedom and dispute their livelihood. He also stated that imposing limitations on these business activities would infringe upon the fundamental right to free movement, which is vital for economic operations. My country people, soon cows go soon get passports for Nigeria, because they don dey compare cows and citizens as the same. Which one be say all this would infringe their fundamental right to movement? When we are talking about fundamental right to movement, we are referring to citizens and not to animals. So how come they are talking about the imposition of these limitations as an infringement on fundamental rights to free movement for cows, abi for human beings? Because I don't understand where all these northern senators are driving to. E be like say their mind dey back. How can they be arguing over cows during plenary because of this issue of open grazing? You see how these northern senators are arguing, trying to prove their point that cows can be treated as humans and citizens. It seems that they are so, in fact, strongly opposing these moves to ban open grazing in this country, because this is yet to be passed to law, as the bill was brought upon to prohibit this open grazing nationwide. And we know that this bill is aimed at resolving the long-standing conflict between farmer and herders. So it's obvious that they are very, very comfortable with the crisis going on between farmer and herders. And all this proposed law outlines specific regulations for the establishment and the management of ranches, promoting best practice and mitigating disputes between herders and farmers. But you see, some northern senators, like that from Kebbi, Senator Amadu Aliro, and his counterpart from Gombe State, Senator Danjuma, they are opposing this. The northern senators are saying no, this is a deliberate attempt to contravene the fundamental rights of citizens by banning the free movement of herders and their cattle. Are cattle human beings? Why are they arguing over this thing? Why are they arguing over this thing? Because this is so irritating. I mean, for Nigerians to hear them make this kind of statement, this shows the kind of mindset they have. And in an interview, he said that it is not only ranching we are talking about here. We are talking about business generally. He made reference to some people who are selling spare parts all over Nigeria and nobody is restricting them. They move from one place to another. So if you impose restrictions on them, then you are acting against the fundamental freedom of movement of people. He was talking about pastoralists who are herders and they have to go with their cows because it is their merchandise. So you cannot, according to him, you cannot separate the herders from the cows when you are talking about the freedom of movement. So any attempt to separate them would be, an hindrance to freedom of movement. So my country people, make una come hear this story, because I no understand how this thing take dey pepper them for body. How can they compare the business of cattle rearing to that of spare parts? I mean, what point are they trying to make here? Because I know that those who are selling spare parts are not in any way causing troubles for others. Those spare parts sellers tend to rent a shop. They do not destroy people's farm. They sell their spare parts in rented shop. They pay these rents for their shops and they don't impose their business on anybody. They don't carry their spare parts killing people. They don't destroy properties and lives while selling their spare parts. So how come this man is coming up trying to say that people that sell spare parts are no different than the herders and their cattle? What manner of thinking is this? What level of reasoning is this? So is it that the spare parts dealers are the one causing food shortages in this country? Are they the one going around from village to village, destroying people's farmlands, those that try to stand against them, killing them, and even raping women? Are they the ones doing all those things? So I don't understand these northern senators because it seems that they are not reasoning with their brains at all. No wonder they are strongly opposing this, because I don't see how they tend to benefit when they are causing harm and evil and damages to other people. Cows are destructive, spare tires are not. Cows are animals, spare tires are not. And yes, cows are meant to be, to be tamed. But you see, when these Fulani herders go around carrying their cows, they go to people's farm, eat their crops. When they eat their crops, they leave it there and then they move over to the next farm, which has caused a lot of problems. We are having issues of inflation in foodstuffs and all of that. All these are, in contribution to all this crisis we are facing. Not to talk about the insecurity in the region. These guys are very, very mischievous. They are very, very mischievous, and they are wicked. This is wickedness of the highest order. So they are very comfortable in Fulani herders going around killing people, eating, using their cows to eat people's crops, but they are not comfortable with those that are selling spare parts, who are in their own, renting shops, selling their businesses without killing anyone, without imposing their business on anyone. This is quite disgusting. I mean, to hear this kind of reasoning from people that we call our senators, Nigeria is finished though. Nigeria is finished. I really hope they get to pass on this bill, because it's a shame. It's a big shame that we are arguing over this thing, that they are arguing over this thing. No wonder Senator Pabio said cows are not citizens. Cows are not citizens. Cows can stray to people's farm. They are causing destruction, and this has been happening for years. Now they are trying to make a way that it will bring an end to all this crisis between farmers and herders, so that they can live together, they can coexist together. But now another senator is telling us that people that sell spare parts, how about them? Should they also tell them to stop selling their business? I don't understand, my country people. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? I'm dropping here. Make una come chook mouth for this matter. Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comments section. Thank you.